Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and welcome to StudyIQ. And in this PIB lesson, I'm welcoming you. And in the evening, these important lessons come in both Hindi and English language. And in the morning, the Hindu paper analysis videos they come. So in both the languages, you get these 4 lessons and very important questions, very important details, facts and issues we are discussing here. These lessons, PIB lessons, the evening lessons, they have become totally exam oriented, prelims oriented, and I hope you are getting good help with these lessons. So do not miss any of them if you have not watched these lessons. So at least for the last 1.5 month lessons you must watch, because all these are questions and important details. So more than 10 questions daily we are discussing, and let's start the lesson. These are the numbers there you can call and you can ask for these pen drive courses by StudyIQ. And you see these are gonna save your lakhs of rupees, and important upgraded courses. These are, the sale is also going on for 60% off is also going on. Minister of Defense data, in the morning session also we discussed about it. Garden Research and Ship Building Engineers Limited, GRSE, that is Kolkata based important defense PSU. It was nationalized in 1960. It was established in 90th century but nationalized in 1960. So that has been given a very important contract of ASW SWCs. It is anti-submarine warfare shallow water crafts. These will be developed by GRSE and 8 in number. Okay, these will be given to Indian Navy, and it is mainly for the warfare technology and some edge they want there, and for the surveillance issue. These are going to be very, very important, and these are to be delivered within 42 months from contract signing date. So it's a very fast process. This 42 months time period is for the first ship, and the rest of them they will be given as 2 ships per year later. Okay, so that's important. And the project completion time is 84 months from today. So this was the information given here. Defense PSU in 1960, 100 warships built by GRC so far, ranges from advanced frigates, anti-submarine warfare corvettes to fleet tankers, fast attack crafts. So all these things, these are actually repaired, and all these are developed by Garden Research Shipbuilders and Engineering Limited. And you see very important projects are going on, like Project 17A ASW corvette for Indian Navy, LCUs for Indian Navy, and 4 survey vessels which are of large category. All these things are being developed by the same important institution, and that is GRSE, and the headquarters there in Kolkata. So obviously it's a indigenous development, so it is going to boost the Make in India initiative. Okay, so that's important. Next, if we talk about it, for the commercial and naval vessels both, it is working. So it is not only for the warfare technology and warfare vessels, it is also for the commercial ships. Okay, and on the Hooghly River's bank, it was established in 1884, but in 1960 year it was nationalized and it became the defense PSU, and Miniratna status is given to it. You see these PSUs, they have Miniratna, Navaratna, Maharatna statuses. So this has got the Miniratna status, and it is the first Indian shipyard to build 100 warships. So recently we discuss this issue. So this was all in today's lesson as an update. Now we move towards the MCQs. Section which number of Indian Penal Code IPC can be used by transgenders now to register complaints of sexual harassment. You see, they were not allowed under any section of IPC to file complaints, and that was the biggest hurdle in protecting their rights. So now they are being focused by the Supreme Court also in section 377, when they upheld the same-sex relationship as non-criminal one. Okay, so decriminalization of the 377 was an important decision. Now under 354A, that's a normal provision under IPC for the sexual harassment registration. So they can also register their complaints here. So B is the right answer. And you see, according to this section 354A, that is for sexual harassment and punishment for sexual harassment. All these conditions, if they are there, then the punishment would follow for the person, and the man who commits the offence specified in clause 1 or 2 shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment. Okay, and term which may extend to 3 years with fine or with both. So this is given here, and any kind of alluring, any kind of cheating with females and now with the transgenders, that will invite the punishment. So that's important. And you see, one more thing is very, very important. Always note this thing down, that this is a particular section of IPC or RPA Act, because this year RPA Act's sections are also very, very important. And always differentiate between the articles and the sections, whether it's a constitutional article the paper is talking about, or is it a sanction of IPC or CRPC. So that's very, very important. And this was amended in 2013 also. Next Sampan scheme, it is related to what? It is actually related to pensioners. In Varanasi meeting, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he inaugurated this, and he talked about it, the system of system for authority and management of pension, that was launched in month of July. It's the current affair of July. Okay, so this question from there, and it will greatly facilitate pensioners of the telecom department and others, help in timely disbursement of the pension. So that is for there. So these are some hidden schemes or less focused schemes UPSC sometime asks. Okay, 6th International Rice Research Institute, IRI, so South Asia Regional Center, ISARC, that was inaugurated in, it was in Varanasi. The same day when the Sampan was announced, this was also announced. This is a so important institution, that IRI, it was established in 1960s in Los Banos in Philippines, and that was the first important research institute in the rice field. And you see, the green revolution started with this institution, and it is an important part of 15 institutions consortium, that is called as CGIAR. So there are 15 agricultural research institute under it, and this IRI is one among these 15 institutions. One is there in India also, in Hyderabad. Okay, so this is very important. And this particular 6th international for the South Asian region, that is inaugurated in Varanasi. There is a seed technology institution there, NSRTC, in the same campus it was announced. So South Asia Regional Center, ISARC of IRRI, remember that. Okay, and the medical college in Ghazipur was also announced on the same day. So they may ask you about that also. You see, there was a famine in Asia in 1960s, and it was a very bad condition. India was also struggling with a lot of issues. Many people were dying because of hunger, because we were not independent in the basic crops, the staple crops, the rice and these wheat and all. So it was a great revolution after 1960s, and it started with this institution of IRI in Los Banos Laguna in Philippines, and after that the revolution went to Mexico, and from there it reached up to India. And at that time, Norman Borlaug was the person who was attached with this green revolution, and M. Swaminathan in India was the scientist behind that. So it was a very important phase, and now a multi-pronged new type of all-colored revolution is needed in India, not just the green one. And the revised one is needed here, because the farming sector is facing acute crisis right now. And this was the CGIAR consortium of International Agricultural Research Centers. It is a consortium of 15 agricultural research centers. Okay, ICRISAT is there in Hyderabad. Next, NHRC, Human Rights Commission, launches a toll-free helpline of 14433 facility. You see, this year ERSS and the 112 emergency number, that was announced in India, and under the Nirbhaya Fund that was announced. This is announced, and it would be implemented by CSEs, common service centers, which are there in every district of India. So these common centers, their 14433 facility would be available, and any kind of human resource crisis is there, then human rights crisis is there, then there may be a complaint. H.L. Dattu, the former Supreme Court judge and the chairperson of the NHRC, as the condition says, he unveiled here, and the headquarters of the body is there in Delhi, as we all know. Okay, please go through the fulfilling conditions of appointing the chairperson of the NHRC also. And the age is 70 years. If I'm reminding you again, 70 years is the age, the maximum age which is given for the chairperson. At the age of 70 he would retire, and he must be a retired justice of Supreme Court. And National Human Rights Commission, it's not a constitutional body. Okay, so that was important. And CSEs are there in every district. Ministry of Science and Technology giving boost to e-governance area. They established these common service centers. It's based on computer technology and the internet, and the important e-governance field is actually implemented on the ground by CSEs. Now, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. There was a question in the prelims examination in 2017, and it is a statutory body, that is perfectly right, established by Government of India to combat wildlife crime, but not constituted under NB Act of 2002. This is National Biodiversity Act. It is not under it that it was established. It was established under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So that's important, and only one is the correct answer. Second is wrong here. It's a statutory body, but not under NBA. NBA was brought up in 2002, and then National Biodiversity Authority, State Biodiversity Board, and all these were established. But this Wildlife Protection Act is important. It was the first act here, and it has got a Clark R. Bavin Wildlife and Law Enforcement Award also in 2010. And in 2018, it was given the Award of Asia Environment Enforcement Award by UNEP. So this year, it is going to be under focus. So they may ask you about WCCP. Next, District Development Coordination and Monitoring Committee, DDCMC. These used to be there, and their name was changed as Disha in July 16. And this information was given by Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar in that year. And UPSC is asking some important schemes from the previous 1-2 years. So they may ask you about that. District Development Coordination and the Monitoring Committee, means two important components are there, and now these will be known as Disha. And so that there would be a single direction, and the implementation and the observation and monitoring of these schemes would be easy. Here 28 schemes and programs of Ministry of Rural Development, they will be managed by it, and these committees are gonna work for the greater impact and the coordination of various ministries here. So both are right options here. And you can see 28 schemes of Ministry of Rural Development. And you see, this is a district component, so it's a basic one, a very important one. On the ground level, it is gonna create impact here. And Ministry of Rural Development schemes are normally we see as welfare schemes, and the management of these schemes, execution is the extremely important thing. And once in every quarter of the year, there should be a mandatory meeting. Next, only the political parties registered under section 29A. As I told you, these sections are going to be important this year, and this section is not under IPC. It is Representation of People's Act 1951 article, section. So under it, the parties which are registered, only they can get the funding through election bonds. That is the important mandatory provision, and they should secure not less than 1%. It is not 10%. This is wrong here. It is 1% only. 10% is a huge number. If the party has got 1% votes in its favor in general election or the legislative assembly elections, then it is eligible for these electoral bonds funding. And SBI is given this task, and the authorized bank account should be there for the party, and they will encash it within 15 calendar days. So that's also very, very important. In the same day, the money would be transferred. Now, the second statement would be correct and first would be wrong, because 1% votes at least should be there. Okay. You can see here under section 29A, 1% of the votes polled in last general election, means the last one which happened, and the legislative assembly election. If they have got 1%, then it is allowed. 15 calendar days, and you see the money should be coming through the main banking channel, the mainstream channel, so that it can be traced. But you see, the many issues are there that the transparency is actually lowered from the previous version. Here the shell companies and all, they may finance these parties, and the issue is properly made as a secretive, and government is openly saying that there is no need for the people to know about our funding, from where the funding is coming, how much the funding is coming. We are not going to reveal that, but Supreme Court asked that give this information under sealed covers. It is not legitimate that you will not give any kind of information on that, because election funding is the biggest issue in India. Thousands of crores of rupees are invested in these or in a way wasted in these election process, because no sensible things we observe in these campaigning and all. So they are wasting thousands of crores of rupees. So this money is mostly the black money, and now the limit is also removed that how much funding can be given here, and it's a secretive method. So they are actually creating many loopholes in the provision of it. Next, the Board of Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, the AIDA body, the regulatory body for the insurance agencies. So LIC is also under it. LIC's proposal to acquisition of 51% stakes in IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India. It's a important a body for the industries, for their financing it is working, and you see it's a state run body and companies are struggling a lot. So this IDBI is also struggling, NPA crisis is going on. So LIC is going to do this acquisition of 51% stakes. It was not allowed earlier, but IRDA has given this permission. Earlier, if only 15% limit was there. Now they are allowing LIC for 51% stake acquisition of IDBI. So that's important. And you see, all our state-owned agencies and approval from SEBI would also be required because it is about the stakes. So 51% stakes they are gonna own. Then it will be owned by LIC then in the future. So SEBI's approval is also required here. And IRDA body. Read everything about IRDA and LIC and all, and their important provisions, how they were established and all. Next, Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has approved to set 2 more underground crude oil storage. The Iran issue is going on, the waiver is ended, and from tomorrow there would be no waiver and we won't be able to import it from Iran. So this is the issue. Now they may ask you about the strategic petroleum reserves, SPRs. So these are there surely in Chandigarh and Padur. These are new 2 additional facilities, but the states are just reversed. Chandigarh is in Orissa and Padur is in Karnataka. One Padur place is also in Kerala, but that is not the same. Padur, Karnataka is the place where this strategic petroleum reserves are gonna be established. So none would be the answer here because the states are not correct. The capacity would rise from 12 days to 22 days, and this announcement was made by Finance Minister PSUs Goyal at that time when he was Finance Minister in July. And the capacity of Chandigarh and Padur would be 4 MMT and 2.5 MMT respectively. So the Chandigarh Odisha is the bigger facility here, and you see that means that without any import we can survive up to 22 days with this oil supply. Next, what is Jai Hind 1S? It's actually a satellite. It's a nano satellite, cube satellite, and it was developed under NASA's important competition, Cubes in Space. So the students from Chennai, 4 students from Chennai, and they are from Hindustan Institute of Technology, they have developed this Jai Hind 1S, and it's a 3D printed outer casing from polylactic acid. They have created it, and it's a very important one. And up to 70 kilometers height, it is going to be placed by NASA only. It is not by ISRO. So that's important. And it was actually established in August 18 only. So it's 6-month-old data. And this is going to be important for this year. So thanks a lot. This is all for today. We'll meet again tomorrow, and the PDF you will get on the Telegram channel. Thanks a lot. I'm Amit Sari.